Hey everybody, welcome to another edition of today's special minis. I'm just going to show you some stuff that I've been working on. I don't have a dollhouse yet, but I love making dollhouse miniatures, and as you know, my channel is called Today's Special Minis. And actually, my channel is about all the art that I'm interested in, not just miniatures. So if you're the kind of person, the kind of artist who likes to dip and dabble in lots of different areas, and you just like to explore your creativity, I hope you'll subscribe, like, comment, share, and these videos that you see on my channel. And you might find some things that you like and might inspire you. I'm inspired by tons of people that I see on the web. So this week I had the idea of making mini 3-ring binders for a dollhouse, and I went through a couple of iterations. Like when I create something, I go through lots of trial and error. That's why it's hard for me to make a video sometimes, because I get an idea and then I just start doing it, and the first 2 or 3 or even 4 times there's something wrong, and then I have to start over and do it again and tweak this and tweak that. So it doesn't make sense to make a video while I'm making so many mistakes, so I'd rather do it when I find a look or whatever that actually works. So the funny thing about dollhouse scale is, yeah, you can make it the quote-unquote miniature size, but it still has to be able to function. So sometimes even the miniature size has to be tweaked. For me, like if I make a sheet of paper is 8.5 by 11, but to me, I'm not going to go through the problem of trying to figure out 1/12 of 8.5 and 1/12 of 11. I round mine up when it's convenient. So my sheets of paper for my dollhouse are 9 by 12. To me, that's the simplest, easiest thing to put in your computer if you're going to design some papers or whatever. 0.75 by 1. As the dimensions. So you do it how you feel comfortable. For me, it's just easier sometimes to round up to the next even, or even to the next divisible fraction. So like instead of 2.5 or whatever, I'll go up to 3, because I know that's 1/4 of an inch. So whatever it makes, then you have to tweak your everything according to the size that you use. So if you use exact scale measurements, then tweak it the way you want, but I approximate all the time. So that's how I do my dollhouse stuff. I don't like it to look too big, but I don't like it when it looks small and clunky either. You can put it in the right scale and size, and it just looks like too thick and too sloppy. So you have to use your artistic eye when you're creating miniatures, and that's what I do. So I wanted to make these 3-ring binders, and these are the right size technically. For 9 by 12 sheet of paper. But when I tested a 9 by 12 sheet of paper in it, to make it seem like a binder, there was still like a little bit sticking out too much, so I knew I had to tweak the cover. And that's the thing, if you do the inserts for a binder, then you have to make the cover fit around the inserts, never mind what scale it might be in, because the paper will be in the scale you want, but the binder has to fit the paper. So as you can see, I tweaked this just a little bit. This was the final version. It's just a tiny bit, maybe a millimeter or 2 bigger than this one, but it's actually fitting perfectly for what I need. So I thought my doll would have on her bookshelf some binders of ideas that she is working on for 2021, and this one says Journal Ideas 2021, this one says Art Ideas 2021, and this one says Mixed Media Ideas 2021. And then eventually I'll fill, if I want, the binders up with stuff that goes with it. But you can also just have them empty on the shelves and just put a little filler or something in there just to make it look like something on the shelves. However, I also wanted to make inserts, so I did that for this one. And on this side, and no, these images and the inserts are not mine. It's just papers and things I printed from Google Images. So I have a bunch of little papers, like she's taking lots of notes. I even put some post-it notes on this one, some tiny post-it notes. That goes in this side of the binder, like she's keeping ideas that she might want to work on later. And then in this one, we have real page protectors with printed stuff from the web in it, and then some blank pages back there where she may want to write something. And so if she wants to change an insert, you could take it out and put a different insert in, and you have the blank page protector. So I went through a couple of versions of how to do this kind of stuff. I'll put this back in. Now I kept it open on the top and the bottom, so whatever way you feel easy. You don't have to have, it doesn't have to be closed on the bottom. You could just slide it in. It's actually, for a doll, but it's functional page protector. And it's really cute. So I'm going to show you how to make it today. If you want to make some binders for your dollhouse, there's a lot of steps. You may not have all the stuff that I have, because some of this was serendipitous. I looked up and found some of this stuff, but do it the way you want it with the supplies that you have. Okay, I'll be back in a sec, and hopefully this video won't take too long. Okay, this is a template that I created for myself. Again, this goes through several different versions, so if you have Microsoft Word or LibreOffice, you can create your own templates to make your own dollhouse stuff. So I start off with a template, and I put 20 on here so I can make 20 binders. So this went through a couple of drafts, and this is the size that I am working with right now. So it's called 1/12 Dollhouse Miniature 3-ring binders, and there are 20 on this. And it's got my little disclaimer and logo. I don't sell my stuff, but just in case I ever do one day. And then right here, this is the 3-ring binder cover and inserts. So this is the cover. Like, let me show you. What did I show you? Where is it? Okay. You can see, so this it functions like a regular binder. It's plain white, and you can create different covers for it and different inserts, like with a real 3-ring binder. Okay, so I made me a little template. This is 3. So you have 3 binder covers here, and of course it's mine. I could change the cover designs at any time. Now, these are images that came all off the web. They're not mine. I don't claim to own the rights to these images, but I did use them to create my binders. So these are all of the little pages that go inside, and you can either fold them together to create a page to go in the binder, or you can cut them apart to create pages that go on either side in the little binder pockets. Then here's a little section of post-it notes, and you can cut them out individually and tape little post-it notes to different things in your dollhouse. So this is what I'm using for this. You can make your own the same way. Just decide whatever size sheet of paper you want for your dollhouse. So if you're using dollhouse scale, that's going to be 1/12. If you're using Barbie scale, that's going to be 1/6. So if something is 1 inch in Dollhouse scale, it's going to be 2 inches in Barbie scale. And if you're using American Girl scale, that's 1/3, I believe. So it's going to be, if it's 1 inch in Dollhouse scale, it's going to be 2 inches in Barbie scale and 3 inches in American Girl scale. If you're using a ball jointed doll, that's usually probably like I think they can go from 12 to 18 inches. You'll use Dollhouse. You'll use Barbie or American Girl scale. So just however you want to do it, and save all the pictures you want, and then resize them to whatever size you need for the scale you're working in. If you're using 1/24 scale, it'll be, if the Dollhouse scale is 1 inch, yours will be 1/2 inch. So if you don't know about Dollhouse scales, just look it up online before you get started. You don't want to waste your time doing things in the wrong scale. I see plenty of people or plenty of shops on Etsy and stuff like this and eBay selling Dollhouse scale, which is 1/12, and you look at that stuff and it's actually the size for a Barbie doll. So that's really frustrating. So make sure you do the right scale so you won't be frustrated. This is a piece of, okay, I'll show you. I pre-pulled everything out that I could think of that I need. So the first thing I did was cut out one of those binder templates from the sheet that I made. Now here's a piece of Tyvek, and that adds strength to it. So you're going to take your glue, going to glue it down to your Tyvek. Make sure it's nice and dry. And then you're going to take a piece of white cardstock, just heavy white cardstock. So you want to glue the cardstock over the Tyvek, but you also want to make sure you fold your pieces. Make sure the edges are nice. Do it both ways. Fold your piece both ways. There. And you're going to glue the cardstock on the side with the Tyvek, because you want to cover that part up. And for that I use, where is it? Hold on. So I use Fabri-Tac, and sorry about the pause. I have one open, but I don't know where it is. Don't you hate when that happens? I just think Fabri-Tac adheres better to the cardstock. Do it like that. Turn it back up. The Fabri-Tac is pretty fast drying, so just give it a moment. And you also want to cut that out. And you'll want to crease that. Now the cardstock is going to be on the outside. And when you use the Tyvek, you'll still be able to see through it, especially like I just recycled some post office Tyvek, and it has the red writing on the inside. If you have some white plain Tyvek, that will probably be best, but I didn't have that. Some people just buy plain Tyvek. You'll do the same thing. You want to crease it. And score it. So it's nice and sturdy. Okay, there you have the base for your binder. And if you get any extra glue on it, rub it off before it dries. Okay, so this is where this piece comes in. This is a piece of clear looking like plastic that I got from, I saved from some, or I rescued from the garbage. It was on something, I don't know what it was, but it's like a little, it's not vellum, I don't know what it is. It could be like super thin, like vinyl. As you can see right through it, and it's like the perfect weight and color or look for a miniature binder. So if you can find some of that, I wish I could find some more. If somebody has some of this like thin plastic stuff and they want to send it to me, I don't know what it is, a film or vellum or whatever, I don't know what it is, I would definitely take some. So you're gonna fold a little 1/4 of an inch lip over it and leave you a little space all around, and then you're going to crease it, just to put a crease in the plastic. And it's quite slippery, of course, but just keep trying. So you'll have something like that. Yeah, it's a lot of steps, but the end result is pretty cool. So what I do at this point is I take some double-sided tape and I'm going to secure that little secure the middle piece of the plastic down. I'll show you what I'm doing in a second. Close up. And for this little folder, I'm using like 1/8 of an inch tape. Burnish it down, burnish it down. Okay, I'll show you a close-up. As you can see, I have the tape going. Here's the fold in the middle, the two folds, and I have tape going a little bit over each of those folds. that one. That one didn't stick. So hopefully now you can see how the tape is. Okay, take your plastic, make sure it's centered. And there you go, you have something like that. So what I'm going to do now, and if you ever look at a file folder, you'll notice that the markings, like the plastic is they just do it any kind of way. So I'm going to put a mark here and a mark there. Take your hole punch and I'm looking for a piece of scrap paper. This is a 1mm hole punch. So you know how your folders have those little holes in it, and they don't have to line up, because on a real folder, if you ever looked at it, they don't really line up. So they don't really line up on this one, but that's fine. Okay, and you're going to secure the ends. Now, I tried melting this plastic together, but it does not stick to itself. So I had to resort to using packing tape. You can use transparent tape, but I don't have transparent. All I have is clear tape, and transparent probably would blend in better with this like frosted looking thing, plastic. So you just trim the edge neatly, as neatly as you can. Pull you off a bit of tape. Place it just on the edge, not too far. Hope you can see that. That's like probably a couple of millimeters, because it really is a shiny tape, and you don't really want your binder to have shiny parts on it. So there, that edge is secured. Now you do the same thing to the other side. I'm going a little fast, but you can take your time, of course. And then you neatly trim off all the edges and trim off any overhang. So there, you have your binder cover where you can put your inserts, and you have the pockets on the inside. Okay, let me clean up some of this garbage. Okay, if you ever noticed on a 3-ring binder, there's like a couple of metal rivets, or I don't know what they're called. They go in the little spaces where we put those holes. They're usually crooked and offset in a real binder, so to be crooked and offset in this one. What I'm putting in there are some little silver, this is like nail art glitter, and they have some really tiny, let's see if you can see it, really tiny like 1 millimeter dots of silver, and that's what I'm going to be using to put as that metallic accent. I'm just going to use a dab of gel medium, and that's way more than I need. So I'm going to, I don't know if this is in camera because I can't do this and look at the camera at the same time, so I'm just going to put a dot of glue inside that hole and pick up there. And that's not perfect because I can't really see, and that one is stuck to the plastic. Let's see if I can open it and just stick it in there. Okay, you get the point. I'll have to fix that later because I can't do that. And be mindful of the camera, because one thing about the gel medium is it does dry quick, which is why I like it. Okay, wow, okay, got it. Yeah. Actually, the little plastic divot was still in there from the hole punch. Okay, so that's how you do that. And I'll be back. Now on to the most annoying and frustrating bit about doing these mini 3-ring binders. It's the whole 3-ring binder part now. I would have loved to have made it fully functional like a real 3-ring binder that just snap open, but I didn't have the time or the inclination to even want to try to do that. So sometimes you have to fake it till you make it. Now, for this part, you'll need 3 jump rings, and if you don't have any jump rings, like I know I have jump rings, but I couldn't find them when I was making these, so I had to make my own jump rings. You just take some wire and you coil it around a form like this round nose plier or whatever you call these, and then you just cut the individual links apart with a wire cutter, and you will have instant jump rings. And I have 3 here, but the jump rings like to pop all over the place, so I might need more. Then you'll need a piece of thin metal. I just use a piece of like flexible thin metal, because you will situate that right here in the middle of the 3-ring binder. But first you got to put the rings on, and yeah, this will be annoying. I'm using some like E6000 type glue, but if you have E6000, you'll need a glue that's, you know, with a strong bond. So, and I'm going to try not to wipe the marks off the front that tell me where to put the rings. Okay, I want to open it up just a little bit because I got to slide the rings in. So you see what I did, like it's like a it's got a flap. It's like a long piece of metal that I just folded over. First you have to, you know, determine how long it is based on your binder cover, because you want it to be just slightly shy of edge to edge. So what you do is take some of that glue and just put a big glob down the middle. Now this is fast drying glue-ish, so I like it because I want it to grab the rings. So you just put all of them on. And this is the sloppy, frustrating part. Good, none of the rings popped off right now, but I've had that happen. You have to be careful. It's sticky and messy. Guess I can use a tweezer. And no, you can't really see this, but hopefully you can just see what I'm doing. So wherever you have your guides marked, you just want to slide the rings down as approximately as close as possible. You'll never be perfect because they'll slide around. And let's face it, this isn't rocket science. You don't need it to be exact. So if you can see that, I don't know how the lighting is. See, that's the thing. I don't have a 4K camera or whatever. Get some of this glue off my fingers because I'm going to make another one. So that's a template for another one. So I don't know if you can see the black lines, and the rings are pretty close to it. But while the glue is loose, obviously, it's not going to matter. You want the rings where where they meet to be on the top, because you want to be able to open and close. And then once you do that, close it down. Yes, it's sloppy and messy, and you're going to have to keep adjusting. You're going to add some glue. You're going to adjust until it sets, which will probably be like a few minutes. So let me do that. And then with this, I'm just going to take these and just kind of squeeze the space in between. And keep adjusting the rings. So you'll have to add more. Sorry, I hope I wasn't out of frame. You have to add a little bit more glue, do a little bit more tweaking to the rings. Make sure they're not getting stuck. Yes, the glue will get all over your fingers. Okay, so I'm going to keep adjusting and doing that until I get it set. Okay, once you do that, you have something that looks like this. A 3-ring binder. And you can take some alcohol and rub off those lines, but what you want to do now is secure it in your binder. So you just take some of your, oh, that's too much. Put a bead of glue. Take it, center it, and then you'll take your pliers and just kind of press it down. Yeah, glue will seep out the sides, but that's okay. You want to get it nice and secured, and you'll let that dry for a few minutes, and you have your 3-ring binder that actually works, because you can, once the glue is dry, you just take your tweezer and you can pry the rings open gently to be able to put something in. We'll let that dry and I'll come back and show you how to make some inserts. Okay, so to make the inserts, it's a little bit crazy, and this is just the way, the easiest way I stumbled upon to make inserts. I was going to try to make all of the page protectors where you could put the page in, change the papers. I'm not doing that. Each page on the template that I made myself and that you might find helpful if you make for yourself, I put like a little, I don't know if you can see it, a little border on the side, and that gives me an idea of where the, let me show you. A real page protector has this little thin white strip. Obviously, if you're going to do it in miniature, the strip is going to be a little bit wider, so it's not exactly in proportion, but I gave myself enough of a room to be able to hole punch it. Unfortunately, 1mm hole punch is the smallest I have. I wish somebody would make a 0.5mm hole punch. That would be so great for miniatures, because the 1mm hole punch, as tiny as it is, it's still too big for dollhouse miniatures. So if anybody out there is listening, 0.5mm hole punch would be excellent. So because you need to put a 1mm hole to bind these, you need an idea of the strip, and so each sheet for me, I made a little strip that comes along the side of it. So what I'm going to do is cut that strip off using some cardstock, and I have a piece of thick acetate from packaging, and what I'm going to do is just put a dot of glue on that just to hold this down. And I'm going to do the same for this. you just need a dot of glue because you're just trying to hold it. And how you want to position it is like with a page protector. There's always going to be a little gap of space. See that? Now, I got glue and stuff on my hands, but you want to make sure your hands are clean because you're going to be working with tape next. And if you got glue and stuff all over your fingers, it's going to get on the tape. And yeah, we already know how that goes. So I'm using some clear packing tape. You don't need a piece that's too big, but you need a piece big enough for you to be able to fold over. So I'm just going to plop this on here. Be careful because it's going to stick to the whole thing. Just take your time, take your time. Try not to get fingerprints all over it. There. Just something like that. Then you're just going to fold it over. And press down. And you'll have it encapsulated in the tape like this. So those are my faux page protectors. And then you're just going to cut around it. I made myself a template to make sure that the pages are all the same. So actually I'll do that later. I don't know, when you tape stuff, there's a natural like air rim around it. So you can kind of just use that as a guide to cutting. You always want to leave just a little bit of the transparent edging around it to give you that look of a clear page protector. Now I'm going to use my template. And the holes don't have to be perfect because this isn't, you know, this isn't a science. It's just a hobby. You're just having fun. My holes don't line up. I don't mind. I'm gonna just punch. And then just make sure it's the same size. And you have a page for your binder. So I think this is dry enough. You just will that's not. Let's use these scissors. Like any other binder, you open up the rings. And close them up, and there, you got your 3-ring binder with inserts. But my she's already got her binder with this kind of paper in it. She wants to do a binder with pocket letters that she's gotten from other dolls. So we're going to put this let's see if this fits. Okay, yeah, she's got pocket letters that she wants to put in her binder. Well, let's see what she's got. OMG. So she's got 3 to put in there now. And this will be the next thing I show you in terms of miniatures, how to create miniature pocket letters. So let's put her pocket letters in. This one's the one that she got first. It's an Olga Direktorenko inspired. I really love her pocket letters. It's got the little tag on it. So and then she got this one second. And this one it's a cute pocket letter. I was looking up cute pocket letters. I was trying to find stuff that would translate well into miniature. So looking for contrasting colors and stuff like that. So you can't really see these, I don't think, but you'll see it, like if you had them in person, you'd see they've got the, dimension and everything to them. So it's cutting out super tiny pieces of stuff. These little tiny sandals, that little bow, this little lady in the sand. And here's another one. That's an Olga Direktorenko style. With a little tag. Okay, and there she has her collection of pocket letters in her pocket letter binder. Isn't that cute? Hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and I'll see you in the next video. And let me just remind you, the videos will be different types of videos. It may be a miniature next, it may be mixed media, maybe art, maybe gel printing, maybe anything else. It's just me doing what I like to do, and I hope you like what you see, and I'll see you next time. Okay guys, bye.